Welcome to the Lunch and Learn with Tim and Jack of the AI Empires and Scalz.AI. Day two has brought me some awesome surprises, and it is amazing doing this with Tim, who is a tech savvy individual. Tim, how you doing, brother?
Not bad, man. Another good day out here. I really can't complain about anything.
There you go, man. So tell me, how's your experience with day two going before we get into tutorial stuff and just let the people know what you're going through?
Pretty good stuff, man. Like I was able to get all my morning work done right now. Sorry about the background. I'm also doing laundry in my office. So we got all my morning stuff done. I was able to connect my email and get all that going with the DNS records. That was pretty straightforward. We're ready to keep moving on. Looking forward to the conversational AI stuff today.
You are a tech savvy individual, so you've been integrating all of this stuff very easily. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with you. But what would you say overall, like integration process and getting all your stuff logged in and hooked up, ready to go? Like, what would you give that 1 out of 10 on easy to hard? So one being the easiest, 10 being the hardest.
I'd say a three. You do definitely have to have some tech skills to understand like what needs to be connected, but the way they set it up and the instructions they have make it very simple with basic things. There's also automated ways to do it. I usually find those things can hang up though, especially when it comes to DNS records that can be kind of wonky. But if you ever get problems with that, that's what we're here for. So be sure to reach out to Jack or myself. Like we both understand DNS really easily. So if you need help with that part of it today, just let us know. That's what the message is for, or message us, private message us. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's a fairly easy setup, but if you do have some tech skills, it's going to benefit you to populate domains and email sending domains. And the more and more that we're going to do this, Tim and I are both going to be live streaming, will be available for customer service. And then we'll also be doing these lunch and learns where you can ask questions in our community. Without further ado, brother, let's just into the conversational AI, and I'll kind of show you what I put in as the foundation, and then we'll go over the next steps on what we're going to do there. And then we will talk about a little email domain sending. So here we go.
Sounds good.
And if something comes up you think is a good point, make sure and stop me and say, hey, man, let's tell the people about this because this is something I noticed, and we can just knock it out that way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. Can you see my screen?
Sure can.
Right on, brothers. We're going into the settings, and what I did, like we discussed yesterday in the conversational AI, is I want to set the foundation for your agent. So we came in here and we set up Maverick with all Maverick's personality, different responses, just different prompts. And then we went in and gave Maverick some qualifying questions. So to ask people or your users that come by, are you investing in SEO? What were some of your goals? So that way, when you book meetings with people, you'll know this information ahead of time. Intent, pretty straightforward here. This is going to be your most straightforward prompt. Qualify leads, book meetings, ask them how you can help. And then this also has a different set of qualifying questions because you want to keep it fresh and get what's important. So that's kind of cool. And then this is just your additional information. Your name's Maverick, you work for Scalz AI. And like this could be something where you would put in custom values. So you could do like company name,
Mhm.
first name, contact, stuff like that. So that's a good way to do the repeatable process for your AI employee.
Right. And what that's good for is when we get to the agency level training on this, is after you create yours, you're going to be able to resell this. So building things like that are going to be very beneficial for when you want to expand and help other agencies grow.
Tim, that's a great point. Thanks for stopping me there, man. That is the whole goal is like you want to design this as a repeatable process so you can make it efficient. You don't want to have to do the same thing every time. So great point, man. Thanks for pointing that out.
Not a problem.
And then what we're going to do, and this will be kind of coming online today, but we'll set it up to trigger a workflow to notify you or if you want to send them information. And this is kind of the stuff that follows after we get that email domain set up so we can have all these in place. And what's kind of cool about it is if you do set it up really in an order, you can just really turn these things on pretty quick. But
Mhm.
that's going to be the main thing with this. But I also wanted to show you, this is something how you can capture parameters. You're going to get their first name, last name, phone, or email. But if you want to add in custom fields like a company name, like a website, brief description, you can add those fields in. You can capture them with forms, and then that'll be in your pipeline as well. So that'll be coming down the road, but it's something to pay attention to for the fields and values. And then your stop bot. hey, somebody says goodbye. We don't want our AI just hitting them back up in an hour. So we'll reactivate it after 12 hours. Stop bot as a tag. Tags are going to be awesome. They're one of the main ways to trigger your automations. So
Hmm.
keep tags in mind as well. And then the next thing we're going to attack today is when we go into the training, we'll start adding in that FAQ from your blogs, from your website, from all of that cool SEO stuff that you already have built that I can just take and put in to lay some more foundational training. And you can always go in and test your chat right here. And what's good about this is if you don't like the responses, you can always go in and train your bot and edit stuff. So this is a good way to do it, kind of get that foundation going. And a lot of people notice sometimes with AI, the responses are a little long-winded, don't sound.
Right.
This is a great way to fix that problem out of the gate so your AI is responding correctly.
I always like to add on little things like delay 5 seconds or even a little bit longer. What that does is it makes it look like there's actually someone behind the keyboard instead of being like, boom, there's some AI and they get that. So while people are in this day and age now more accepting of it, it still off puts a lot of people and they like that personal connection. So if any way you can make it feel more, I recommend it.
Yes, and that's a good point. And while we're looking at that, I'll show you kind of the couple ways to go about that. The first way is just your initial response.
Hmm.
Is you can set a delay time in here, 5 seconds, 2 seconds, however that may be, right? But that's going to be your one variable from this dashboard. Now, like we were discussing, if we're going to Facebook and we're going to have a different approach on Insta, Meta platform, what we can do there is actually go into the automations. Well, not in the settings of the automations, but the actual automations. And what we'll do is we'll create one from scratch just so you can kind of see the variable timing here. We'll go Insta timing response. Talking.